Hey everyone, Paul Carl here. I'm doing another website review. I think this is number 9. Um, so I found mostly empty space from Reddit. He's got some kind of ebook product, an online course for startup founders. So he had some specific requests. So like, does it look clean and professional? Does he look like an expert? Are the products and benefits clearly defined? And is the text okay in terms of content and layout? So let's take a look here. Going to go ahead and disable all my blockers just in case that messes with the site. So let's see. Um, right off the bat, my first impression is it's kind of like a hodgepodge of like modern and old design. This is kind of like your typical sales page layout, but instead of being as minimalistic as you're used to kind of seeing these things, it's got the background. Um, let's see. So I help startup founders build great products and grow their business. Whether you got an idea or product, blah, 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 blah. All right. This headline doesn't really help with this because this looks like it's selling a bunch of templates for product development. And the headline, if that's something that I want, I think your headline should speak to that, like free product development templates. That could be a way to kind of lead you into it. I'm not sure about this back. I don't like this black line. I think that detracts from the design. We can kind of play with it a little bit too. Let me just move this up here. So we got this thing. I'm just going to delete that. So that already looks a little cleaner. And I don't care for this background either. Let's see if I can find that. Maybe it's the wrapper has the background. I'm just kind of curious what it would look like if it was um, just a plain white background. I don't know. I can't find it in the code. I don't want to spend the whole time doing that. So, yeah, I would be interested to see how it looks with a plain white background versus this, or maybe mute it more because I feel like it kind of distracts me a little bit from the rest of the content here. So let's see. With all this blue, I would recommend making these call to actions orange so they stand out from all the blues because the green kind of blends in with everything else. That I think I should be able to change pretty quickly. Let's see, just to give an example. So background colors, just make it orange. Helps if you spell it right. Yeah, so right away you can see that orange like really pops out as you scroll. So let's see. Clear and concise seems kind of redundant to me. I would make this button orange too. I'm not sure what this image is showing me here. If this is like an example of the templates, I would maybe consider like putting a subcaption or a subtitle or something. That would also help because if someone just scrolls through, that people usually stop to read the captions on images. So if you put something about free templates, just like this or whatever, that might help draw more attention to what's going on here without people having to read everything. there's a lot of claims here, and I think what's missing is some like trust building and authority building things, like how this works, like how can you fulfill these promises. Yeah, what this landing page is missing, well, one, it's selling a lot of different things. So we have a free thing here, then we got some book, and then we got a course, and then coaching. So this page doesn't really have like I can't tell what your primary goal is with this page because there's so much going on, and each of these little categories don't really like each section doesn't sell anything on its own. It just makes a bunch of the claims, and it's lacking that evidence. Like, here's how you do it, or like examples. Maybe something as simple as like giving some quotes from the book, or like a sample page or something. Let's see. Well, let's go. Let's just start with. Let's do the first. No, I'm not gonna get the free toolkit. Let's check out the book. These headlines are kind of vague too. Like, what kind of a product is this? Like, do you help people create physical products? Do you help with like SaaS companies? I think being more specific would help, because everyone who has some kind of business wants to build a successful product, and this is so vague that it's not good advertising because it doesn't speak to any specific person. It just speaks to everybody. I think especially if you're just saying like, here's how you save hundreds of thousands of dollars, that makes it seem to me like this is geared towards people who maybe have funding for their startup or something. So if that's the case, if you're trying to aim at people who already have funding, then I would gear everything towards speaking to that person. Yeah, actually, just to come back up to here, you talk about like the product market fit. I think that's something that you might need to look into a little bit more for this book and figure out like what specific person are you trying to reach with it. Because it's everything that's being offered is so vague. It's like you're trying to be everything for everyone who has some form of a startup, and I don't think that will convert many people. You might be able to like maybe use some of like those logos to build trust a little bit, of like, because you got a good resume here. Why is my computer going slow all of a sudden? Excuse me. All right, let's go back. I think the other thing that this content assumes is that people know like what an MVP is or what the agile system is. I think there's a lot of opportunity to try to educate people a little bit, like give away some of that value that's in the book and explain what these are, give some actual advice that if like giving away some content and some value for free is another way to demonstrate like the trust and authority that you can offer. The testimonials are good. I would maybe include like what company they're with so people could like check out their site or a link to their site. The underline makes this seem like it's a link, but it's not. That's a cool little add-on right there. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. Maybe this is your like company. Cool. Since the navigation's gone, that throws off my experience as a user a little bit. So I have to check out the book. But I think you have each of these sites on different platforms, maybe not. I don't know. But it felt like a different site a little bit. The design was a little consistent, but missing or losing that header kind of threw me off. Let's see. I think there's too much going on here visually. I would try to simplify this design. Maybe speak more specifically about some tips on how to avoid these things and give people an idea like you're going to learn X, Y, and Z in this course to help you prevent these problems. Oh, it's down here. Alright, so this is some of the same stuff it looks like. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody spending $500 on a course where everything is just it's so vague and it doesn't really tell you specifically what's going to happen. Like all these claims that you make, you have to back them up with some kind of evidence for it or like samples, or there has to be more educational content given away for free, I think, to establish more trust and credibility. Alright, and yeah, the navigation's gone. Let's see the free consultation. Okay. That kind of threw me off a little bit. It might be worth it to use something like, what is it, Calendly or something, where you can fill in like what slot you want and all that good stuff. So there's more interaction, or like a form. Because I'm anticipating going to some kind of form or some kind of page to fill in my information. So when my email pops up, that's just not what I expected. So let's see. I think this is the same thing as before. Yeah. And the navigation's gone again. Is that a different? Oh yeah. So this is actually taking me to a whole different URL. I didn't notice that the first time. like curious. It just redirects. I think I looked at all these pages right. Oh no, this is a different one. Yeah, so overall my opinion is, I mean, the design is a little like, it's weird, especially the homepage, because there's too much going on. There isn't a primary goal for the homepage. I would maybe consider doing it as, like, maybe you focus on getting people to sign up for this first as like stage one, and they get this free toolkit that could help build up that trust and credibility, and someone could use it, and you could use that to like email people like, hey, thanks for signing up, do you have any questions, is there anything I can help you with, and then start to build a relationship with people, and then have like some kind of autoresponder campaign that kind of drips in content that helps to sell these other things, maybe by giving away some pieces of it, like some advice or tools that come from the book. Maybe you could drip that in an email campaign and then say, is this valuable to you? You can buy the whole book here or whatever. Here's another like piece of valuable information that you can use. This is actually from my course. If you want to buy the course, here's the link. And then that way you could focus your whole homepage on getting someone to get into that funnel. But yeah, overall, I think the design needs to just be a little cleaner and less distracting. And I think you need to sell the products better. You're missing the like proof part. And I think if you can establish that trust by providing more proof for all the claims, then you'll have a better chance at getting people to make the purchase or sign up for the course or whatever. But yeah, that's the best advice I can give right now off the top of my head. So I hope it was helpful for you, and I wish you all the best.